All right, why are we even doing this? So I'm not trying to create a crisis in all of you by asking this question, but I was thinking about today and setting the tone for what we're doing here and why we're here and why we're working in this cloud native community. And I thought it was really important to take a step back and realize what cloud native is. So first, let me actually introduce myself. So you just heard from Danielle Crook, and now you're hearing from me, Danielle Cook. I think they did that just to kind of confuse everybody. So I'm a CNCF ambassador. I am a co-organizer of the Cartographis Working Group. We authored and maintain the Cloud Native Maturity Model. So it looks at all the areas of cloud native, not just technology, but people and process and policy and the business outcomes that you would want to get from cloud native. So I want to get philosophical for a moment. Bear with me on this. So you decided to come here today. Cool. You got your manager to approve it, or you just decided yourself. And you're here to be inspired, to learn about different technology, to network with people, and to be able to take something back to your place of work. You might get back tomorrow and say, I learned about this new project, I want to try it, I want a POC, I want to do these cool things. And then you're going to tell your manager, and they're going to say, yeah, no, not right now. Like, we don't know if we have time for that. Security has some concerns with it. Who's going to maintain it? Does it really help us? And so I want to help you with answering that question of, why are we actually doing this? And the main reason is because Cloud Native and Kubernetes, it solves business problems. So you're going to learn a lot about technology today, but the root is it's in business. We are working at organizations, and they want to make money. They want to drive efficiency, and Cloud Native allows us to do that. So Cloud Native isn't just about technology. It is about the people and the process and the policy. And again, that's what the Cloud Native Maturity Model talks about. It requires a cultural shift. It requires us to look at the release processes and how we can do it better. It's about taking those policies that you're using in legacy environments and translating it across. And how do you do that? How to use policy as code? And it's because of this cultural shift that you need to consider, it's not just a simple, it's going to be one and done and super quick. It does require investment. And so you need buy-in from everybody across the organization, and you need to be able to explain the why. So what is the real why? So in simple terms, we want to increase profits, right? Every organization out there is looking to go, how do we make money? How do we drive revenue? Cloud Native allows us to do that. You are going to hear from loads of the sponsors out there talking about, hey, we're going to help you release faster. That's key. And I know we're all yeah, okay, that's just, you're just giving me, marketing speak and whatnot. But it does. It can help us release faster. Next, it helps us reduce risk. So yes, we can take different ways of securing our infrastructure and compliance and reliability. It helps us with uptime. It helps us make sure that we're not losing customers because our app is down. And it helps us improve efficiency. So we can work faster. We can optimize our cloud infrastructure. These are all great areas that Cloud Native allows us to do. And this is the real why. And what's key here is being able to align the technology investment that you want to put in place with these whys. So the first thing you want to do is actually know your business goals. And this might seem yeah, I should know that. But you have to see what the business really cares about. So if you don't know what your main business goal is, I invite all of you to figure that out today. So go look at your investor reports. Figure out what your last quarterly earnings are. Figure out what they were saying to their investors or the board. If you're not at a publicly traded company, look at your all hands decks. Look at press, what's being talked about, and understand that why. And for people who are yeah, but I'm just working on the platform, the more you know about your why, the more strategic you're gonna be, the more you're gonna be valued as a technologist, because people can see like, oh, they understand why we're doing this and why it's driving our business. That allows you to connect it to the technology and then demonstrate that value, positioning you as a leader, positioning your investments or your requirements of, I wanna use this open source tool, I can align it, I can get it signed off. So as a shameless plug, definitely doing it here, at KubeCon EU, I spoke with Simon, who's here, around this demonstrating ROI and the business impact of cloud native. And we go through 3 different examples of how you can do this. So I'm gonna give you a really high level one on this one, which is around customer churn rates. I am sure some of you have heard about this, maybe not all of you. You're like, why do I have to care about customer churn rates? What are customer churn rates? It's what customers you have, you spent a lot of money to get them in, they're using your product, and now they're leaving. They're going to another competitor because they're like, there's not enough features in this to keep me happy, so I'm gonna leave. So this example is around going, okay, my customer churn rate is at 10%. That's really bad. You don't want your customer churn rate at 10%. You spent money to acquire them. So this company has this problem, and they're saying, well, in order for us to get through this, we want to actually release features faster. We want to cut our release cycles from 2 days to 1 day. Simple example. I like simple. And so now you're told, like, how do you do that? What are you going to do? And that's where you can go, well, I need to build a platform that helps my developers, helps enable them, helps them work faster. And okay, platforms they're not simple to roll out, we know that. But let's say in this, I'm gonna create a simple platform, it's gonna take me 6 months, I need 2 engineers working on it, what does that look like? I can calculate the cost of my engineers, the time it's gonna take, and actually tie, this is an overarching amount of money, and because I do that, I can, in 6 months, I'll be able to cut my release time from 2 days to 1 day, be able to get this feature out, and you can then link your investment in the platform with your churn rate. And in this example, and again, I encourage you to watch the full presentation. We're saying, hey, you can cut your churn rate not just from 10%, but to 2%. That saves the business money, and that takes your technology investment in platforms to an actual what a board cares about. So today's themes, there's a ton of talks on security and platform engineering and AI and DevX. There's so many cool things happening in this cloud native market. It's great. You're here, you're learning. I can't wait to hear lots of you speak who are here. But I kind of want to challenge all of you in a very good and polite and nice way, because this is the CNCF and we do have a code of conduct. I challenge you to talk to the speakers and say, how is this going to drive change for me? How is this going to be impactful to the business? Is this just a technology that's cool and I'm going to try and play with, or will it change the bar? So ask what business problem it solves, learn, ask them, how would I demonstrate value to my boss? And then make that case to build the alignment. And with this, just a reminder, why are we doing this? It's because cloud native and Kubernetes solves business problems, not just technology problems. And there's my LinkedIn profile, the cloud native maturity model. You should read that. We're releasing a new version of that this summer. And then if you're interested in joining the Cartographers Working Group because you love the name, we're always looking to recruit people to help us kind of build content around getting people to adopt cloud native technologies.